Once upon a time, there was a poor little match girl who lived with her father. One day, the girl was sent out to sell matches. It was New Year's Eve, a bitterly cold night. Snow was falling and darkness was beginning to settle over the city. A small, barefooted girl with no hat or shoes was walking through the streets. Her feet were red and blue with cold, and her thin dress offered no protection from the biting wind. All day, she had tried to sell matches, but no one had bought any. She was starving and freezing, and she dared not go home, for her father would beat her if she did not bring back any money. Her little hands were almost numb with cold. In her old apron, she carried a bundle of matches. She crept into a corner between two houses and crouched down, drawing her little legs up under her. She was so cold that she felt a desperate urge to light a match, just for a little warmth. Then she pulled one out and struck it against the wall. F, S, S. It flared up with a warm, bright flame. In its light, she saw a magnificent warm iron stove with a polished brass top. She stretched out her feet to warm them, but as soon as the match went out, the stove vanished. She was left with nothing but the cold, wet wall. The girl struck a second match. The light shone on the wall, and the wall became transparent, revealing the inside of a cozy room. On the table was a roast goose, stuffed with apples and prunes, with a knife and fork stuck in its breast. Suddenly, the goose hopped down from the dish, waddling toward her with a fork still in its back. The match went out, and only the cold, damp wall remained. Then the girl struck a third match. This time, she saw a beautiful Christmas tree, larger and more beautifully decorated than any she had ever seen. Thousands of candles burned on its green branches, and colorful ornaments shone brightly. The match went out, and the lights of the Christmas tree seemed to rise into the sky, turning into stars. She saw a shooting star fall, leaving a bright trail behind it. The little girl remembered her late grandmother, who was the only one who had ever loved her. Her grandmother had told her that when a star falls, a soul goes up to God. And then the girl struck the last of her matches, all at once, to keep the vision from disappearing. The matches flared up into a brilliant light, as bright as day. In the light, her dear, sweet grandmother appeared, smiling and radiant. The grandmother had never seemed so beautiful and great before. She took the little girl in her arms, and together they flew high, high up, in a shining cloud, away from the cold, hunger, and pain. They went to a place where there was no cold and no hunger, to be with God. When the first rays of the sun began to appear in the morning sky, people came across the little girl sitting in the corner. Her cheeks were rosy and a smile on her face. In her hands, she held the burnt-out matches. No one knew what beautiful things she had seen or in what glory she and her grandmother had gone to their New Year's Day. That, my friends, is the end of this little girl's story. If you like this kind of stuff, stay tuned for more.